Welcome rock enthusiasts to my quick guide on using a rock tumbler. Whether you're a curious hobbyist or an aspiring geologist, this video is your gateway to unlocking the fascinating world of rock tumbling. In this quick tutorial, I'll take you through the step-by-step process of transforming rough stones into beautiful, shiny, polished gems. But before we dive in, let's understand those basics. First, let's familiarize ourselves with the tools of the trade. A rock tumbler consists of a barrel, a motor to rotate the barrel, abrasive grits to smooth those rocks, and of course, water to aid in the tumbling process. Assembling your rock tumbler correctly is crucial for optimal results. You don't want leaks or vibrations. Be sure to carefully follow the manufacturer's instructions to ensure smooth operation and safety. But don't worry, if you're new to rock tumbling, you're in the right place. By the end of this video, you'll feel confident and ready to embark on your own rock tumbling adventures. So let's dive in and uncover the secrets of this mesmerizing craft. Section 1. Understanding your rock tumbler and tips. Welcome to Section 1 of our Beginner's Guide to Using a Rotary Rock Tumbler. In this section, we'll delve into the key components of understanding a rock tumbler, as well as some helpful tips. First, let's talk about the barrel. This is where all the magic happens. It's where you'll place your rough rocks along with abrasive grits and water to begin the tumbling process. Next, we have the motor. This small but powerful motor is what drives the rotation of the barrel, ensuring that your rocks are constantly tumbling and being smoothed out evenly. Now, let's talk about grits. Grits are the abrasive substances that grind down those rough edges on your rocks. They come in different sizes from coarse to fine, and each stage of the tumbling process requires a different grit size. This list is the typical grits used through the various stages. For most tumbling batches, you'll start out with 60 to 90 grit silicon carbide, followed up a week later with 120 grit, a pre-polish, and finally a polishing grit, usually aluminum oxide. Each stage is about 1 week, or 7 days. After 7 days, carefully open the barrel to reveal a mixture of rocks submerged in murky water. Transfer the contents into a colander or strainer placed over a plastic bucket and rinse thoroughly to remove every trace of grit and mud. Remember to wear your safety glasses to shield your eyes from any possible splashing debris. Last but not least, we have water. Water is essential for the tumbling process as it helps carry away debris and keeps the grits and rocks moving smoothly. For best results, you might consider using distilled water or purified water during the pre-polish and polishing stage to avoid any calcium being introduced into your polishing grit from hard water. You'll fill your barrel about 3/4 with water. Personally, I just fill my water as high as I have the rocks at, which is generally around 3/4, so it's easiest to remember it that way. Too much water and you'll hinder the tumbler's ability to cycle the rocks around efficiently. Too little water and the silicon carbide doesn't get to do its job as correctly, which may cause you to have to extend an extra week on a step, which is never fun. So let's recap. Your rock tumbler consists of a barrel, a motor, grits, and some water. Understanding how each component works together is essential for achieving fantastic results in rock tumbling. Section 2. Selecting and preparing rocks. Welcome to Section 2 of our Beginner's Guide to Rock Tumbling. In this section, we'll explore the process of selecting and preparing rocks for tumbling. First things first, let's talk about selecting the right rocks. Not all rocks are suitable for tumbling, so it's essential to choose ones that are hard and durable. Before tumbling, it's crucial to clean and inspect your rocks. Use a brush and water to remove any dirt and debris, and carefully examine each rock for cracks or fractures. Once your rocks are clean, it's time to sort them based on the hardness and shape. Harder rocks such as agate or jasper will polish more efficiently, while softer rocks may not withstand the tumbling process as well. Now that your rocks are sorted, it's time to load them into the barrel of your rock tumbler. Make sure not to overload the barrel, as this can affect the tumbling process. To sum up, selecting and preparing rocks for tumbling involves choosing hard and durable rocks, cleaning and inspecting them thoroughly, and sorting them by hardness and shape. With the right rocks, you're one step closer to achieving beautiful polished gems. Section 3. Preparing to start your rock tumbler. Now that we've selected our rocks, it's time to prepare them for the tumbling journey. This step is crucial for ensuring a smooth and successful tumbling experience. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started. So again, it's important to make sure you have... So as we learned in the last section, the first order of business, cleaning our rocks. Just look how filthy this one is. It's essential to remove any debris or unwanted coatings before tumbling to prevent contaminating the barrel or other rocks. A gentle scrub with a brush or some water should do the trick. Just be sure to give the rocks a thorough rinse and ensure they're squeaky clean and ready for tumbling. So if you followed along in the last section, we should already have our rocks nice and clean. We should have them already sorted by their hardness, and they should be already loaded in the barrel and ready to roll. So what's next? When applying your grit, it's always handy to have some kind of a measuring device or a tablespoon to administer the grit into the barrel. Using the correct amount of grit is essential for producing beautiful results. This chart should help you get set in the right ballpark for applying the correct amount of grit to your barrel. I personally like to add the grit after I've added the water. That way, in case I add too much water, I can dump the water without risking losing some of the grit that I've added in already. So I always like to make sure I got my water, again 3/4 filled with the barrel, and then applying that grit. And now for the super important step. You want to make sure you have a nice seal when you're closing your barrel. Inspect along the inside edge of this lip and make sure there's no rocks or debris that might be causing a gap. If there is, oh boy, you're going to have one major mess. So definitely make sure you have this nice and closed. You don't want any water to be leaking out. Once you visually inspected it, I like to make sure I get it nicely closed up. We have our little ring lock right there. I'll make sure it's nice and tight. Now for the thumb screw. How tight is too tight? Or how loose is too loose? Well, you definitely don't want it to be too loose because as this thing is spinning around, it's going to cause everything else to become loose and your top may pop off over time. But you also don't want it to be too tight where it creates a bunch of pressure within inside the barrel. So I just like to tighten it until it feels like it can't go anymore without applying any more pressure to it. That's usually the right spot, I find. So with your rocks, your water, your grit all locked safely in here, give it a real good shake. I don't see any water dripping out, so that's a good sign that we're ready to load this into the tumbler now. And it doesn't get more easier than this, guys. You just take your barrel, place it right on the tumbler. I have a double barrel here, so I've got 2 barrels I'm ready to roll with. It's going to look just like that. And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. All we got to do now is just plug this thing in. Oh, just beautiful. Look at those barrels roll. As mentioned earlier in the video, the average batch takes about 4 weeks. That consists of 60 to 90 grit, 120 grit, a pre-polishing media, and of course, the final polishing material, which usually consists of aluminum oxide. And one super important thing, it's crucial to avoid allowing grit or mud to go down the drain, as it can clog pipes. To prevent this, we wash our rocks in a colander over a plastic bucket or outdoors with a garden hose. This ensures no unwanted debris finds its way into the plumbing. Once the polishing stage is complete, it's time to inspect your rocks. Remove them from the barrel and rinse them thoroughly to avoid any remaining grit residue. Giving them a good inspection. If everything went according to plan, you should now have some beautifully polished gemstones in your hands. So to end this section, I have one big tip for you guys. If you find yourself with some really stubborn rocks that just refuse to polish after you've completed the final polishing step, there's one more thing you can do that I would recommend. And that's called burnishing your rocks. Now that we've achieved a beautiful polish on our rocks, it's time to add that extra sparkle with the process called burnishing. This final step ensures our stones shine brilliantly and are free from any lingering haze or polish residue. Sometimes even after polishing our stones, they may appear to be a little bit hazy. Our small particles of polish may be trapped in the micro-sized crevices in these rocks. That's where burnishing comes in. It's like giving our rocks a refreshing spa treatment. To burnish, we'll place our stones back in our polish barrel along with the usual amount of water. But this time, instead of adding any grit, we're only going to add about a half tablespoon of grated ivory bar soap. Or for me, I personally prefer to use a couple of drops of Dawn detergent. The original Dawn detergent. A few drops goes a long ways. You don't want to add any other type of soaps that contain abrasive additives or any kind of chemicals. So these two options are perfect. Burnishing typically lasts an hour or two, and it gently shines and cleans up our stones to reveal their true brilliance. It's amazing how this simple and short step can really kick up the shine and enhance the overall appearance of our tumbled stones. And that, my fellow rock enthusiasts, concludes our beginner's guide to using a rock tumbler. Remember, rock tumbling is not just about creating beautiful gemstones. It's also a journey of patience, curiosity, and appreciation for the natural world. We've covered everything from selecting the right rocks to achieving that perfect polish. I hope this video has inspired you to start your own rock tumbling adventure. So grab your rock tumbler, gather some rocks, and let your creativity shine. Thank you so much for joining me in this video today. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to consider giving it a thumbs up. And don't forget to share it with your other fellow rock enthusiasts. All right, my friends, thanks so much for watching. Till next time.